Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Manchester City, of course, have just beat Luton 2-1 away, which is really needed right now. 2-1 victory away at Kenilworth Road. It could have been a disaster, to be honest, and I would not have been surprised given the way things have been going. But crisis, what a crisis! I don't even remember the Villa game anymore. It feels like a different Manchester City. You know, it really was a relief. It really was. It could have been a disappointing day. It could have been a day of frustration after a difficult run of games. It's been a tough, grueling couple of months, and this could have been the icing on the cake after the Villa game, after the draws. It could have been another disappointing day where we dropped more points, but that wasn't to be. As City found a new, mature way to approach the game. Now, of course, this is the Fan View Live. If you want to have a chat, I try and tend to leave this open to patrons and members. Though I suspect I might just put it open today to see if anyone wants to jump on. It's always good to have new faces. I'm gonna leave a link actually. I'm going to leave a link here, and if you want to join, you can do. I'm going to sort of open it up. I'll give it a few more minutes and see if any of the regulars join in, but if not, I'll open it up to the floor, and hopefully one of you guys can jump on with your webcam and your phone or whatever and have a quick chat to me about the game. Whatever you want to talk about, you'd be more than welcome. But yeah, I'm happy about this. I really am. Like, my honest opinion, it's been an hour since the full time. I'm very relaxed about it. I think it was a much-needed victory. I think the foundations of what this victory was built on are what I expect from Manchester City side. I expect tenacity always. I expect work rate, but I also expect composure. I expect graft and guile, and I expect a nuance when you've got the ball. I expect a little bit of subtlety in this Manchester City side, and that's what we got. That's what we got, you know. And I'm very happy to say that City were all the things that you'd expect from Manchester City side today. They were good, man. They were good. I'm going to leave it open actually. So there you go. You can join there. I put a pinned comment. You can come and join me and have a chat about the game if you want to. And about whatever you want to chat about, you know, as long as it's Manchester City related, largely, so to speak, you know. But get your voices on, man, and have a chat about the game. It would be good to chat to some of you and get your views in on the game. I'm honestly quite relaxed. I'm going to see what Pep's been saying afterwards. What's Pep been saying? Let's have a look. Pep's quotes. Pep's been sassy. Pep's been very sassy. What did he say? Let's have a look. Pep said, on Man City's half-time reaction, said, feel sorry for ourselves, strikers, to be more aggressive and score, defend better for the crosses, be positive, demand more of ourselves. The big characters, big teams, and these teams are defined in these situations. Yeah, he said the people say it's over for City, but we want to make them wrong and believe that it's still not over. Still, we want to be there challenging. Will we be able to? Depends on how we perform. He talks about Haaland as well. So the day after Villa, he could almost not walk properly. Yesterday, I spoke to him, said, I'm feeling much better. I can walk, I have no pain. But they're obviously going to take it easy. He should be fine for the Club World Cup, which is good. And Doku 1 or 2 weeks as well. So that's a bit of good news for you now, man. Things aren't truly awful. Got someone waiting to join me. I'm not sure who this is. I'm going to jump over to in a second. 1 second, mate. Person waiting to join, it says important win. Hang on, because you won't be on the video. I need to edit it beforehand, so I'll bring you in. You won't hear me for a second, so I'll bring you in now, but you won't be on until I give you a shout, if that makes sense. So let me just make sure you're lined up on my StreamYard. There we go. Right, I'll be here in 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. How you doing?
Hello, Onome here. How are you?
How you doing, man? Whereabouts you calling from?
I'm good. London.
It's good to yeah, it's good to chat to you, man. Like, we've obviously been in the comments for years, well, for a long time.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's been years, but it feels that way. How are you, man? Are you good?
I've been baiting you out in the comments. I want to come on.
Well, there you go, man. You got the link anyway. Now, pretty much it's a spoiler, but I pretty much use the same link most times, so you can jump on there. The regulars will know what it is. Good to chat to you. How are you feeling after that? How are you feeling after that, mate?
I'm feeling good, to be honest. To be fair, today I just wanted a win. I didn't care what the performance looked like. I didn't care what anything looked like, because what it is it's like we're starting to get a bit too far from the guys at the top, and we always want to stay close. You know what I mean? And the one person I don't want to be at the top is Liverpool, because of the nightmares we've had from Liverpool for the last how many years. They are very capable of doing something to us. If they got a 7-point lead, it might not seem like a lot right now, but you know, 1 or 2 games down the line, we drop points again. It's like it's now 10, it's now 15. Do you know what I mean? You don't want it to get too far. So I just wanted the victory today. Whatever the performance looked like, I didn't care. But to be fair, the performance was actually impressive. I like to always watch us when we have control of the ball. Whenever it's a back and forth game, it's not our game.
It's not City, is it?
We need to. No, it's not. We need to control the narrative of the game. Every pass, you kind of see every pass before it comes. But when it's a back and forth, like the Chelsea game, and so it's like, oh, you don't know what's going to happen next. Your heart rate is always like, oh my god, and we'll win the ball, and, oh, and then we'll lose it again. It's like, but today was, I felt a bit more control. I could see them scoring, so cliche that they could score, but after that, I was like, yeah, we just need to get one before 70th minute. And once we got one before the 70th minute, then he was like, okay, we're going to win it.
No, I agree with that, man. To me, I said after the Villa game, I wanted City to see, I want control again. I just want control, possession, passion, pass the ball, because I think so much of what defined the Guardiola side of the past several years, well, all his career really, but this City side in particular, is just sort of that you just know when City play, you're going to have all the ball. And that wasn't the case against Villa. And games have felt chaotic. No. They felt chaotic recently. Even if you've had the ball, they still felt open. And I wanted to see City to go back to just being who they are, being really hard to play against, and that's what we saw. It was a really encouraging performance, man, for me. Obviously, it's not perfect. I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10. No. But it's not a 0 out of 10. It's somewhere in the middle always. And I thought, to me, that was like a 6 out of 10, pushing maybe a 7. But it felt to me that's what we needed, right?
Yes, we definitely need that. We definitely need it just to win. The performance will come. I mean, we know what we're capable of in terms of performance and stuff. One thing that obviously I see a lot of people saying and talking and stuff. One thing we need to understand as well is that we've gone through a big change this summer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was a risk of losing even more players this summer. And Pep kind of came up fighting to not let Bernardo go, to not let Kyle Walker go. Otherwise, we could have lost a lot more in the core team. And then you come into the season and you got key injury to KDB at the beginning of the season. Then Stones has not been fit. So the core of the players that played last season wasn't there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you got these new players trying to learn the City way and try to fit in and stuff. I thought pre-season, I watched Kovacic in pre-season, I thought, perfect. He fits in properly and stuff. And obviously, season started, they had a little injury and stuff, and he's like, you just needed to come back. But today, I was really impressed with him. Kovacic he just keeps it ticking, and he's always available for a pass.
He's like Rodri. We need that. Always available. Right now, we need that. I think we just need a ticking clock, man, like a metronomic player. The thing is, you raised the point about about the changes in the summer, and I think one thing that we haven't really discussed a lot as a fan base is that I just don't think City were prepared for this. And I think we are a victim of our own success there. I think a lot of these players have left because we won the treble, or they wanted to move on or so on. I think there's an element of we just sort of reached the pinnacle, really. And there's no finer way for Gundogan to end his career at Manchester City Football Club. He's a very smart man, like Gundogan, young family, just won the treble as a captain. He's like, that's probably as good as I get from me. And it's a natural bookend to his career. Same with Riyad Mahrez. And I think City weren't expecting those two players to leave. I don't think they were, No. And I think the way that Cheeky definitely wasn't, because Cheeky's not Guardiola. So he doesn't pick the teams. And Mahrez, we know it was sort of his pride was hurt a little bit because he wasn't playing in the final and so on. But we could never, if he played, I think Mahrez would still be here. It's that simple. Yeah. And it's crazy. But that's not saying Pep was wrong, but all of a sudden then Cheeky's got the job of replacing Mahrez because Mahrez politely spat out his dummy because he's not playing, so he's like, oh, now I've got to get a winger in. And I think Gundogan leaving, okay, I actually agree we should have done it better, but I think we were going to sign Paqueta, who would have been really good, and then it turns out he could, and he could end up being a criminal. So what's Cheeky meant to do about that? So I think we forget sometimes I still think we should have done better in hindsight, but I think a lot of it was a result of things that we didn't know was going to happen. So I think the changes have been quite dramatic, and maybe it's just the price of success to an extent, Or maybe I'm waffling a bit there, man. I don't know. But back to the game.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I think you are right. It's the price of success. I don't think you're waffling. I think it's just the people that left, it wasn't expected at all. I never saw Mahrez's one coming.
No.
I never saw Mahrez one came out of the blue. It was like, oh, it's not in pre-season. Oh, Mahrez is leaving.
It was Saudi money.
He's got to go. I mean, he's going to an Arabic country. It all tied up and made sense for him. He's been successful at City for how many years and stuff. So it made sense for him. He's over 30. It all made sense for him as a player. But as a club, we wasn't ready for Mahrez to leave. It was like, oh, Mahrez is leaving. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, how do we replace that? To get Mahrez's touch is obviously one of the best in the world. Right? Yeah. When that ball's coming from the air. And to be honest with you, Phil Foden's obviously got that as well. But to lose Mahrez, to lose Gundogan was a tricky one because it was like, incoming, it's not signing the contract, it might leave. And then there was talk of oh, Kyle Walker might be going. He's having talks. He's like, what is going on? Why is everybody? And then you've got Bernardo every summer about to leave, and we all literally getting on our knees every summer praying and say, please let him say, please let him say. I think this season is one of the most important one to keep Bernardo because, mate, the guys I said in your comments, his engine is something
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
Like
I
he
agree.
just keeps running, and it's like I describe him like a grey on dog. Like it just keeps
Yeah,
running and running. It
very
doesn't
lovable
stop.
like a
And
greyhound as well. You know.
you know what I mean? So when you have that kind of player, you're like, wow, okay, you just have to love him.
Yeah,
And games like this, I look at City when I see games like this, I more look at the body language and the players, whether they want it or not. And when people talk about complacency, I don't see no complacency. These guys don't have a complacent bone in them to start with. If you saw the passion against the
yeah, I
Tottenham game,
agree.
you know that they're ready for fight. And I said in your comment, I think it was in your comments, I said, if you're behind a leader, if you're following a leader that has given up and stuff, then you got no chance.
Yeah.
But when you're following a leader like Pep and you're seeing these players and you see that these players haven't given up, all you got to do is just get up and support them and be on par with them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they are complacent. I think Pep said in one of the press conferences, I think complacency is used as a sort of throwaway term for teams not winning.
Yeah,
And Pep said in the press
easy.
conference, he views complacency as when players stop turning up for training on time, stop working as hard. And we forget, they have the metrics, by the way. They have the measurements. They'll know if players are running as much as they did last season.
Yes.
I don't think it's possible for players to be as good as they are at this level and be complacent. It is possible, but you know what I'm getting at. Like, these are obviously elite level players, and they're elite because they're so focused and so professional. I don't think their hunger for success would have changed, to an extent. I
No.
think anyone who
That's all.
did, they probably would have left the club. They probably moved on because they wanted something else. And I think there's an honesty to that, to Gundogan's position. He wanted to move on and do something else, and that's fine. So I'm not worried about complacency at all. I'm worried about the only thing I'd ever be worried about is just the reality of just how hard it is to go again, because everyone else, I think it's not complacency, it's everyone else trying to close the gap, everyone else trying to get better, and naturally players wanting to move on. So it's more the shake up of the squad and everyone else just thinking, we want to beat City,
And
and
with
it's hard.
that, what I think with that is Bernardo. There's one interview that Bernardo said that every season they come in for pre-season, Pep has something new that he wants to try. So Pep evolves with that. So yes, people are trying to catch up, but Pep moves the goalposts every time. Do you know what I mean? Last season, I was at the Arsenal game. I went to the Arsenal game and I watched us play two left backs. And I'm thinking, what? And then Bernardo said in his interview, I was trying to figure it out. I was thinking, is Bernardo playing left back? I couldn't. And I was like, he's playing left back, isn't he? He's sort of playing left back and he's covering and he's playing like, I was like, I couldn't understand it at first. And then when Bernardo then said in the interview, I said, Pep called him to his office and said, do you want to try left back? And he's like, ooh, left back. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. I'm like, that's what that guy does. And that game, Bernardo was actually playing like a second left back. So it was Ake that was approaching Bukayo Saka to start with. And Bernardo was covering, waiting for him to go past Ake and say, I'm going to chase you. And he's going to chase you. So it comes up with something different every time. So yes, I see what he's saying about, people are stepping up and trying to catch up and stuff. But he's just going to move the goalpost again.
Oh, yeah, he will do.
He's just going to move the goalpost again into something else.
He needs it. Pep needs it. I think it's what makes him him. Like, he doesn't. I think Pep makes his own challenges, and I think there's some like big brain theory going around like
it's so crazy.
But there's some big brain theory going around that maybe he's happy about the losses recently because once again he gets to see the whites of the eyes of the players and he gets to see who wants it. And I think there is something in that, man. Like a couple of losses aren't bad for a team. They really aren't. They can reset you a little bit or bring you bring you back down to reality. But let's talk about the game, man. Like, what was before I jump onto Dash Mesh? Who's waiting in the I call it's like a green room, I guess. Whatever it is on StreamYard. I was waiting there. What do you think was the difference today? What actually was the difference for you compared to the previous games?
We moved the ball sharp today. You can see from the very beginning, the passing was sharp. It was crisp. It was just the passing was the intention of the passing was there. I could see it from the beginning. I'm like, yeah, we mean business today. Do you know what I mean? Even the little triangles we're creating, little passes and stuff, change, spread it out. And obviously, yes, Rodri came back into it. But I was really, really impressed with Phil Foden today. And I just feel like there is probably the one more level I would say Phil needs to go is probably owning that position in terms of, so when you see Rodri on the ball, for example, right, you kind of feel like Rodri controls the tempo whichever way he wants the tempo to go. So when Rodri is running with the ball, for example, he decides he wants to run with the ball, he decides he wants to pass it short, he can pass it short and open and be ready again for another pass, right? I feel like Phil Foden kind of releases that ball sometimes on the one touch and the two touches too quickly. He's got such good close control that he can run with that ball a lot of the times. Like Kovacic tries to run with the ball, but it's from deep. If Phil Foden runs with the ball a little bit higher up, a lot more. And do you know what I mean? I just feel like there's
I
just a
think you're right.
little bit more.
I actually think Phil Foden would benefit from just deciding I'm just going to hold onto the ball a little bit longer. Not even
That's what
necessarily
I'm saying.
dribble, just like I'm actually going to just take.
Yes,
David Silva would, he'd move around a little bit, and just because I think naturally if he did that, if he played the game at 80% speed of what he usually does. I don't want to stimmy his instincts because he's such a brilliant player, but I think there's an element. If he decided to hold on the ball more, I think he'd get more used to being on the ball in
yes.
that role, in that spot, just in front
In
of the
more
defenders.
dangerous positions. In
Yeah,
more dangerous
because he
positions.
gives it, he
Because
not gives it away. That's the wrong word, but he looks to move it on so quickly, which is obviously what he's good
yes,
at.
that's what I
But
mean.
actually, I
That's what
want
I'm
him to
saying.
go like, no, for a while.
Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? I thought it was just me that
No,
kind
you're
of
right. He
sees
does
that
do
in him.
that. He's different to a lot of times that way. He just want the ball and want to glide around with it a little bit. Like I wouldn't mind him just signing. Let's just have the ball and see what you can do. Let's feel the ball for a little bit. I think that'd be interesting. Anna, mate, it's been a pleasure chatting to you, man. Absolute pleasure. I'm going to go to Dash Mesh, who's
Thank you so
waiting,
much.
but it's been a lovely chat to you, mate. And you've got the link now if you watch up on again. I'll catch you in a bit,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
See you
Thank you
later,
so
pal.
much for having me.
Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Top bloke. I'm going to jump onto Dash Mesh, who's waiting as well. Don't forget, this is the Fan View Library. You can have a chat as well if you want to. Paul is with a super chat. What a legend. Let me get the super chat up. He says, where's it gone? There we go. Oh, is it not scrolling? Whatever reason, I can't get it. Why is it not scrolling down? Oh, it's because it's right at the start of the video, so I can't get it on screen. Let me see if I can line it up. Where's it gone? I can probably line it up now. 1 second. Let's get it on the video. There it is. There it is. There we go. It says survive and advance. We don't usually remember these ugly wins at the end of the season, but they lay the foundation for titles. Wise words there from a wise man. Paul Anthony's absolutely bang on, man. You don't always remember these games because they're not the pretty games, They're not the head-to-head against a fellow giant. They're not the spectacular 7-0 win against some, struggling side. If anything, they're just a 2-1 win, away. And for me, these games are that important. Paul's absolutely right. Survive and advance. Like, after everything recently, I said in the match reaction, this could have easily been points dropped. It could have easily been a massive banana skin for Manchester City. This needed to be calm. This needed to be back to basics, a composed win. And I think Paul's absolutely bang on to that, mate. You're absolutely spot on. Thank you so much as well for the super chat, for the support. It's hugely appreciated. I've got a Dash Mess now who's waiting. Dash Mess, how you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, hi Stephen, I'm good. Can you hear me properly?
I can, mate. I can. Talk me through your mood after that game.
Yeah, firstly, sorry I won't be able to switch on the camera today.
Right.
I'm
Don't worry about it.
in different setup. Yeah. About the game, like I knew it will be hard for us to win because it's not the easiest place to go and win pretty easily. Like we saw last match against Arsenal, they won in the 97th minute.
Yeah.
When the extra time was 6 minutes, I don't know why, but they won it in the 97th minute. Then Liverpool drew there as well in the injury time as well. So it was going to be a tough match. And I saw a few minutes of your halftime review that City wasn't playing too bad. It was just that we conceded a goal right at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
So I was gutted about that as well because I was saying, okay, we are playing nice. Grealish was playing kind of centrally and in the left a lot today, and he was pretty good when he was coming in the middle and controlling the ball more. Like we were having discussion last time that
Yeah.
we need to have more control in the middle, and so Grealish was helping there as well. And yeah, overall, very needed win, and definitely gonna give confidence to the players to go on win the next match again. I think Crystal Palace. Then if we go and win the Club World Cup, it will give like a nice momentum to
Yeah,
us
of
in the
course.
busy period, Christmas, New Year period, where usually we always play nice. So it's good to gain some momentum in this period and have a nice run of victories.
Absolutely, mate. And back onto you talked about Luton a little bit there, and Jack Grealish actually said in the post-match comments, he said they're actually a really good team. I think they're a lot better than people give them credit for. And I think it's echoing your sentiments there. And I was impressed by Luton today as well. And obviously we know they've took points from Liverpool, nearly from Arsenal. Given everything, this could have easily been lost. So I think it is. I think this performance was impressive. I think there was a lot more control than the scoreline maybe indicate they had one chance essentially. They took it away. It was a good header. But if they don't have a 6'5" striker there, he's 6 foot, they probably don't score. We probably win comfortably 2-3-0 today. And I know that's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, but I think it's worth reflecting on that. That this was actually much more comfortable than maybe we give credit for. And I think a lot of our anxiety came from just previous results. Like if we had a couple of wins recently, I don't think we would have been looked at that and gone, yeah, really good that and great stuff. But I think people wanted to see maybe more. But I think that was enough given everything personally.
And another thing, and just another point, like I also liked a lot that Pep made a lot of defensive substitutes today, saying that we were conceding late goals in a lot of recent matches. Like he brought on Ake, Akanji, because to be fair, Guardiola hasn't been the perfect in terms of defending in last few matches. So seeing that he brought in Ake, which is in my opinion was a very good choice, and he also brought in a Kanja lead so that we don't concede late goal again in this match as well. So I was pretty happy to see that as well, because Pep usually doesn't like to change much at all in the games. So seeing that, I was pleasantly surprised and happy about it. So yeah, that was also one thing which I noted today.
Yeah, no, I agree, and a little bit of pragmatism is useful sometimes, isn't it? Like you need, like it's very un-Pep to do that, throwing a bunch of defenders. I know it was away at Luton, but it was enough, and I think it was really important not to concede. Really important not to concede, and like later on, because I think that would have been absolutely damaging. Like, what was the difference for you today, mate? What was the difference? Who stood out for you and so on?
I think one thing is that the control in the midfield, like Rodri, Kovacic, and I guess Foden or Bernardo, like they were mixing it up. And just one another thing, I really like the combination of Bernardo and Silva on the left. Like I think last when they played together there against Manchester United,
Yeah, I
they
agree.
played really well as well. And today also they were having very nice link up as well on the left when Grealish and Silva were passing to each other a lot.
Yeah.
So I would say, like we were discussing in the last video as well, that rather than wasting essentially Silva on the right, use him more in the middle to control more and to like, especially using his combination with Grealish as well. Like I was really impressed with Grealish today. Like even though like let's say the second goal was scored by Foden or someone else, like I would have still said that Grealish played very well today, because
I agree.
it's that people only focuses on Grealish when he scores or assists, but usually like the control which he gives us is pretty important, and today as well, like it's great that he scored a goal. I'm not saying that he shouldn't, but it's like overall his control was very important today, and I guess we need that control back in the midfield to dominate more and keep the possession more. Like against Villa, we couldn't keep the ball for long, but today we were keeping the ball for a long period of times. We were passing it well, and yeah, definitely when we have like people like Doku coming back or KDB coming back, Haaland coming back, then definitely we will be more potent in attack as well.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
overall, I'm very satisfied with the victory today, and like hopefully this gives us a nice point to get a momentum and get some victories back to back.
Do you think looking at the table, 4 points off now, and things haven't been like perfect recently, but does it now the dust has settled a little bit on the Villa game? We've won today, and you look at the fixtures coming up. Are we actually quietly in a pretty, because we've played a lot of tough games, are we actually in a pretty decent position?
Yeah,
Are you quite confident right now, or
yeah.
cautious, or what? Where's your head?
See, I would say I wasn't too much worried about our position before even Arsenal lost to Villa, which I was hoping they lose some points, but I wasn't too worried, because when I saw the fixtures coming, that I see that a lot of top teams are playing each other. I think Arsenal and Liverpool are playing together as well pretty soon, so hopefully one of those points will definitely lose some points there as well. So it's not like end of the world that we were 6 points away before this match day, but still we have plenty of time to recover. And as I said, if we get good momentum, then definitely other teams would be scared of the whole cliche that City comes lively in the end stage and
Yeah.
just gets 12-13 wins in a row, or maybe let's say 14-15 games unbeaten run, and we are back to the top. Like that's not a thing which can't happen. So I'm
Fingers.
pretty hopeful that we will be back to like the way we play, because the last few games haven't been our best, but every year we have a certain period where we don't look good.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No,
I'm not too worried about it. Just hoping that we sign one or two players in the January market and our players come back, like
yeah.
especially KDB comes back and he looks good. Hoping for that as well. So yeah, not too worried.
No, same man. I think I'm pretty much right there with you, pal. Dashmash, it's been a pleasure chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining me, and I
Yeah,
hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, mate.
yeah.
In a bit.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Top bloke, and I think he's absolutely right. I'm hoping we'll be there as well. Fingers crossed we will be. I'm going to go to Danny. I think he's waiting backstage. Danny, if you're there, turn on your mic and he'll come to you. Hello, how you doing, man?
Yes,
You
yes,
good?
mate. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you, man. You good?
I'm all right, man. Reaching you out from Zambia here,
Oh, Zambia,
Africa.
mate. I think you're the first person who's ever rang from Zambia. How you doing? You good? You well?
I'm all right, man. I enjoyed the game. It was a nice game. Yeah, some few points to take on from the match. Phil Foden
Yeah,
playing really well from the midfield. Really well. I really don't know how much he has to do to prove himself that he is a midfielder.
yeah,
I mean, you could see the consistency in the chances that he was creating. He was causing chaos from the first 10 minutes. He was really, really well. He played really well. And the other player I would talk about, Kovacic, he really offered some control, some ball control, but he wasn't really much effective going forward as Gundo was.
yeah.
But yeah, he did pretty some good work.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Danny.
and in the end,
Ruben joined me here. Sorry, I had no say in this. So,
yeah,
the
it's
little
all
man joined.
right.
No,
It's all right.
I agree
I
about
hope
Phil.
it's
Phil, by the way, massively. I think Phil through the middle. Ruben agrees as well. He's clapping his hands about that. He absolutely agrees with your point. But Phil, I think he looks natural there, doesn't he? It's definitely his future where he'll be. Sorry, I'm not sure if you can see the
yeah.
cameraman, but I'm being attacked by a small child. Go back to mama. There you go. I didn't quite catch your second point, man. Sorry about that. What was that again? Sorry.
So my second point was on the effectiveness of Kovacic
Oh yeah,
in the midfield, the Gundo role. Yeah, he was offering some good ball control, but not very effective going forward. But yeah, we needed that, and it gives a chance for Phil Foden, because when he's in the midfield, I think that's the
yeah,
reason why Pep Guardiola doesn't play Phil in the midfield, because he kind of like loses the ball oftenly, unlike other players in the midfield. So
yeah.
playing Rodri and Kovacic in behind him gives him much opportunity, gives him that freedom to go forward. He's not scared of losing the ball. So yeah, on Kovacic, that's the point. Otherwise, the other players, Grealish was good
Yeah.
today, played well. We didn't miss much of our player, they injured Jeremy Doku, but I bet if he was in, he would have caused chaos, because uh, Luton didn't pack the bus today, you know.
Yeah, they
And
didn't, did they?
I think even Haaland would have had a good game. But all in all, we're hoping for the best, because even the next game is going to be challenging. I bet it's going to be more challenging than this, because Crystal Palace have been, inconsistent, and they'll be looking to prove a point.
No,
Yeah.
I agree, man, entirely. And onto your Kovacic point, by the way, before we go on to Grealish as well, I do actually think Kovacic is. I feel like right now he feels like the most natural option alongside Rodri. And I know he had a couple of games where he wasn't at his best, Danny, but I think at the start of the season as well, I think he showed quite a bit of potential alongside Rodri. And I think a large part of today is built on that control that he can provide. It's a real natural kind of like pivot between those two. They seem to work well together, don't they? And I think you're right about Grealish as well. Like overall, man, I thought it was a good day. It was a good day. And what about yourself? Like in terms of looking forward now, because obviously we've got quite a, I'm looking at the run of fixtures that we've got. Let me just get up ahead of them. We've got coming up, Danny. We've got Palace at home, Brentford at home, Everton away, and Sheffield United away before the end of the year. I mean, is it realistic to say that should be 12 points there from those 4 games? Palace, Brentford, Everton, and Sheffield United?
Okay, to be honest, 80% confident. This today was the first time. I should be maybe second time I've been watching City, and I was really scared that we might lose the game after Luton scored.
Oh, it's
So
terrifying, man.
my confidence level is not back at its peak, but at home we should be able to beat Crystal Palace because we're just we're playing really well at home, and we've not lost a game since I don't even remember. So we should be able to beat Crystal Palace and Brentford. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough test, but with Haaland back in the game, I think it's gonna be a job done. I'm just hoping that we build on this momentum that we've started with Luton. You know, it
Yeah,
was a very
absolutely.
important point to come from behind and beat them. So yeah, I hope we build on this one.
Well, that's the thing is, I
And
feel
yeah,
pretty confident, mate, that if we can manage 4 victories here, 3 of them are home games against Palace, Brentford, Sheffield United. I would not expect, but I think it's reasonable to say we could win all them. Beat Everton away is not impossible; it won't be easy. But if we do manage to get 4 victories out of them, that's 5 victories in a row, and I'd be very surprised if we're more than a point or two off the top of the table at that point. It might even be top, I don't know, because the other teams have got some big games coming up. So things could be all right, Danny. Basically, Danny, it's a pleasure chatting to you, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. And I hope you have a
thank you, man.
wonderful day. It's great to have someone from Zambia for the first time on the show. Thank you so much, man. And have a good day. Thank you.
All
Bye
right.
bye. Top bloke, lovely stuff. I'm going to bring on Naz next. Once again, thank you. Don't forget to give the video a like if you are watching. Naz rejoined. Thank you so much, Naz. You're an absolute superstar, man. I bring Naz back on right now. One sec. Naz became a member again. Thank you so much, man. How you doing? You well? Long time to speak.
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a while.
How's things? You alright personally? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. It's just, because of the uh change to GMT, it's been very late for me, the game, so I've not been able to
Yeah.
join on fan news, but
No, it's fine, man.
yeah.
It's not. I get it entirely. Yeah, it's one of those things where also the games feel late for me sometimes as well. I live here, so I can't even imagine
Yeah.
the time difference as well for you. But you caught the game today, right? What's your mood at? Where you're at? Well, how would you rate today out of 10?
Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, I was watching the game in the background because I had some work to do. But from what I saw, it looked like, although Luton scored first, I think it was much better than what we've been seeing recently. And yeah, I thought overall, of course, we got the win, which I think we won in 4 games. So good result. We're back only 4 points off the top, despite what seemed like a horrendous run of form. So yeah, I think overall it was a positive game today.
Absolutely, and I agree. I think we need to look at the positives here, what we can take from it. And to me, I think Pep's going to be really happy with that actually. And I don't think he's going to be like, oh, well done everyone, it's a masterclass. But I think he'll be really positive because I think the most important thing was after a dip of that magnitude against Villa, and I think it was a dip. I think it really was. I think it was good to get a reaction, and I think I think we've seen performances like that before, haven't we? After a bad performance, where the City come out and they go back to controlling the game.
Yeah,
It felt different today. Like even the approach felt different to me, like compared to recent weeks. I'm not sure if you noticed because we weren't really doing the inverted midfield thing either way. We know the defenders. It felt a little bit more traditional, like a 4-2-3-1. I think the fullbacks were sort of playing as fullbacks. It felt like a sort of 4-2-3-1 of old, really, where we were just playing Kovacic alongside Rodri, no defenders in midfield. Do you think that was a case of him just trying something for now, or do you think it's something that he'll do again going forward?
I think I think it's probably just for now because I think Pep really liked the inverted midfielders and I mean inverted defenders, inverted fullback. So
Yeah,
I feel like he'll at least for now he'll stick with this, but as soon as he can, I'm sure he would want to bring back the old style of play because I feel, since we've gotten Haaland, I think, especially because maybe Alvarez is playing today, so we got another person who could drop deep. Haaland's not going to drop deep. So I think, especially with Haaland, when we have a better run of form, he'll probably try to start again getting another defender into
yeah.
midfield. But yeah, I think for now this works, and until it works, I think we should just stick with it. And one thing I've noticed is I mean, it's not just something I've noticed. Our defense has been way too leaky. I think near the start of the season, I was hoping I think I said it on stream also that I wanted us to have one of the best defenses in the
Yeah, I
league.
remember.
But I don't remember the last time we kept a clean sheet, which we really, I think it's more important. We don't need to score 4 goals, 3 goals, 1-0 is enough. But I think we need at least a couple of clean sheets in our next game, considering they're not against the best opposition either. We need to make sure they don't score just for the confidence of the whole defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think we talk about strikers needing goals, for confidence, but defenders need clean sheets too. There's something about. And to be honest, I know we didn't keep a clean sheet, but I do think there's something to be said for the way that they held the fort at the end of the game. They were. I did feel that there was a likelihood of Luton scoring. It just felt inevitable after. I know it wasn't guaranteed, but I would not have been surprised if it ended up 2-2 because of the way football's been going recently. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was in the back of the minds of the players as well, because that fear, fear is inevitable when there's momentum behind bad fortune. So I do feel like, that was important today for the defenders to keep a clean sheet in the second half at least, And their goal was, their goal was a good goal. I'm a firm believer in that. Not every goal you can stop. You can't, because I think it was just a good cross to a 6'5" guy who had the run on the defender. And I don't know what can you really do there. Didn't feel like much wrong. So I'm relaxed with the goal we conceded. I think defending was better, by the way, today. I think we only really conceded one shot on goal essentially, and I thought it was better. Not quite as open today as previously, and I think Pep will be happy with that. So signs of obviously positivity there. I presume they're just going to rest everyone midweek against Red Star. How do you approach the next game? Because obviously today, Alvarez wasn't in midfield. He's through the middle again. There's a bit more control than usual. It's Palace at home. Do you expect Doku and Haaland to come straight back into the team, or do you think Pep will do something? We play a similar team as today and rest them. What do you reckon will happen, or what do you think should happen?
I mean, Haaland, I think if he's fit, he plays because he's Haaland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doku, maybe not. But yeah, Grealish, from what I saw, I think was quite good today. So midfield of Grealish, Foden, midfield attack of Grealish, Foden, Bernardo worked well today, I thought. And Alvarez has not been looking too comfortable recently in his midfield spot. So I think Haaland comes back in the team, but I wouldn't personally bring Doku back in the team for Palace. And yeah, well, as you said, I didn't think the defense today particularly was open, but just generally, I just want that 0 goals conceded on one game just for
a nice convincing 3-0 win or something like that.
Yeah,
nice and composed, and
yeah,
and I think it's possible against Palace. So I do hope, man. I do hope that this was a chance for them just to really look in the mirror a little bit, and I do think he'll. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Haaland will start almost certainly. Does that mean Alvarez on the bench? Would you do that? Would you will Pep do that? That's the big question, because Alvarez is great and Pep loves him, rightfully so. He's such a diligent player, but is the best option right now Phil in the middle and Bernardo to the side of him?
Yeah, I genuinely think it is, because today I'm not too sure how Alvarez played, but just recently he's not, especially in his midfield spot, been looking comfortable at all. His goal contributions have also dried up. So I feel like maybe he against Belgrade in midweek he'll play. Maybe he should play striker again, but against Palace I feel, depending on that performance as well, but I think I would start Haaland, Grealish, Silva, Foden.
I think I would agree. I think that's what we probably need really as well. To be honest, a bit, I think a bit of familiarity and a bit of consistency from game to game right now. And what I don't want to see is for now is a Kanji midfield. Not that I'm blaming Kanji on this. I just want to see. I want Stones alongside Diaz again. Stones alongside Diaz. I'd probably put Ake at left back. Right? I thought Guardiola did well today. I want Ake probably at left back because I think I want a bit of solidity. Stones alongside Diaz. I'd be attentive at Kanji at right back because I think Walker's playing well personally. But I wonder if he'll play Stones at right back. And then he's done it before, hasn't he?
Yeah, I feel like Walker is playing well, but at least because considering what happened last season without Walker, we should at least give it another. I'm sure Pep promised Walker something in the summer, so that's maybe another reason he's playing him so much. And I love Walker, but maybe just to tweak something, just to test it out, maybe we can try another back four of I don't know, Akanji, Ake, Guardiola, whoever in the left, and then Diaz, Stones, and then one more defender. Basically, 4 centre backs again. So I feel like that may go a ways towards solving the issues we have
Yeah.
currently. But overall, I'm not too worried yet. But yeah.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Thank you so much, Naz, for coming on. It was good chat to you again, man. I'm going to wrap it up there because I'm exhausted. I'm tired and I've barely slept recently. So thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure
Yeah,
chatting to you,
thank you.
as always. Thank you so much to everyone for watching this fan view live. I'm going to end it there because I am generally knackered. And I think we said as much as we can today on this game. I'll do the 5 things learned, of course, tomorrow. I am on BBC Manchester podcast. We're not really here tomorrow as well, alongside Natalie Pike and Mike Miney, which should be good fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Superstar. Give this video a like. Thank you to Anime, Danny, Dashmesh, and Naz for coming on as well. It's been a pleasure. For now, though, in a bit, and goodbye, everyone. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. In a bit.